Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes in the Shed. So, it's been a while since my last video. I put a couple of posts on the YouTube channel that I hadn't realised you could do, with some photos of some stuff I was doing. So, here's the thing, right? If you want good work done on your engine, you send it to someone who does good work on your engine, but they are busy, right? Super busy, right? So, my engine is still at Seeger Engineering, being done. It's almost done. I spoke to him this week. He's had all kinds of stuff going on, but he's doing it for me, which is really good. So in the meantime, I've been doing other stuff which probably needed doing anyway, but you know, I'm just killing time, right? So here's the bike, as you can see, and it's in pieces. And the reason it's in pieces is because I've taken loads of stuff out to work on it. Let me show you what I've been doing. Okay, first thing is, front wheel's been all redone. We've done the brake shoes in it. I think I did that on the last video. Rims all polished, spokes are all cleaned up again. I've had the mudguard, I've polished that. It's stainless, so it polishes really nice anyway. So that's all done. Touched a bit of paint up, stuff like that. And I've had the back wheel out. Here's the back wheel. Sorry for the wobbling. There's the back wheel. That's all polished. I've even polish things that you don't usually polish. However, it is nice and shiny now. It won't last, I'm sure. I've had the rear brake out, checked the shoes in there. I've cleaned that up, touched up some paint work on that. There's the brake rod and all that sort of stuff. So that's all been cleaned. However, now I've got the back wheel out. Right, I'm looking at the swinging arm. Now, I made a bit of an error on the swinging arm when I built it, right? And I'll tell you about it, right? This is what happened. So, last time this was all apart, I had it all powder coated, right? So I had the frame powder coated, various parts powder coated. So, powder coated the swinging arm and greased all the bush up and all that. But, right, now it says, in the workshop owner's manual thing, it says, when rebuilding this, clean off the paint on the inside edges and then shim it. And I didn't do that. I didn't read the manual. I just did it. And it fitted a treat. However, you've got that powder coated, you've got that powder coated, and the same on the other side. You've got 4 layers of powder coat there, which can be, you know, 0.5 mm to 1 mm thick in some cases, right? So, you know, you probably got about 2 or 3 mil of powder coat in the way, right? Now, over time, as it's been going up and down, it's worn the powder coat away, right? So now, I don't know if you can see if I come in really close. We've got that side-to-side play, which we shouldn't have, right? And I've got some shims. Take you over to my cup of tea, and the shims are here. So we're going to shim that and make it all good. So I need to take the swinging arm out. Take the swinging arm out on one of these. You've got like a spindle bolt that goes all the way through, which puts caps on each end, and then on the inside, I'm going to bring you around. So we have to undo that nut there, pull the spindle out, then there's like a big bar which runs in the bushes which goes all the way through, which is usually, it can be a bit tight, and you know, this was greased not long ago, so it should be okay. So I've got to pull that out, unbolt the shock absorbers, and then that will come out. So I'm going to pull that out now, and see if I can remove what's left of the powder coat and shim it all up. All right. Cue some music. Okay, so swinging arms out, swinging arm pivot there, and a little bolt that goes through it with the two caps at the end and the little nut. So I've taken it apart, cleaned all the chain oil off and stuff that was on it, and the grease. This was packed with grease, which is a good thing, right? Good thing, means it came out nice. So I don't know if you can see. See if I can catch this in the light. You might be able to see the bushes in there. They're like a phosphor bronze bush. There we go. So that's the bush. Bushes are in really good condition. I've just tried the shaft in them. It's still pretty tight. There's no play or anything like that. So I need to dress the inside of there and the inside of there with a file. Get all that powder coat off. Make sure it's all smooth. Because that's what the problem was before, right? Then I need to. I've also noticed there's this bracket here for the chain guard. It's got a lovely 3/8 Whitworth bolt in there. Sorry, 3/16 Whitworth bolt in there, holding it on. However, I've just noticed that this, get rid of that and that. This is all rusty. Can't have that. Can't put a rusty bracket back on, so I'm going to paint that. Clean that up. That's going to get a bit of paint on it before it goes back on. What else? These caps look really shit, so I think I'm going to clean those and paint those as well, so they look nice. So need to do a bit on that bracket, bit on those. File that, file the frame, the corresponding face as well. So I'm going to clean all that up, and then I can put it all back together. Right, bit of music. Okay, so the swinging arm's in, and the end plates, the paint's drying, and what else did I paint? Oh, that little bracket, right? So that's drying. So I'm going to put the back wheel in now. All right, now the back wheel on these is a little bit different, right? Because it's a quick detach back wheel, which is, I think, is a really cool idea. Which means you can take the back wheel out without touching the chain, without touching the brake stay, the rear brake drum, the brake rod, everything can stay in place. All this bit stays in place on the bike, and you just take the wheel out from the other side, which is great, right? Last time I had the tyres changed on this bike, I took it to the tyre place, and they got the track stands out, and they're like, oh, how are we going to lift that up? And I'm like, don't worry, I've got you, no problem. So the front stand came down on the front wheel. Main stand, on the main stand, front wheel stand came down, and I took both the wheels out, gave them both the wheels. They put the new tyres on. The bike standing there on its two stands all by itself, no wheels in. Fantastic design, really good. I suppose it was designed for fixing your bike at the side of the road, which no one does nowadays, but yeah, kind of a cool idea. Right, so what happens is, so that sits on, that's the bolt that bolts it onto the swinging arm there. Which way? So that way, so the chain adjuster goes around here like that somehow, I think, about there. Yeah, and this bolts it on. Now the brakes all together inside there, And if you look the other side here, we've got this like toothed kind of spline really that this brake drum sits on. This like it integral to the brake drum, if you like, and the sprocket, and that all bolts to the swinging arm like that, and then the wheel comes in and slots into that, and there's like a cone there that locates the wheel in the middle. So that's full of grease, lovely. Now this does have like a rubber seal, so all this grease doesn't wash out of it. Right, and this is the rubber seal here, so that sits on there, kind of like that. That keeps all the goo inside, because these do, if they go rusty, they start to rock, which isn't very good. It's the only downside to them really. So I'm going to get this back on the bike, back on the side of the swinging arm, and then I can put the wheel in. All right, so the wheel, the other side is here. Just check the camera can see that. So this is the speedo drive side there. That's the speedo drive there. That's the bolt goes through there and in. The other side here, just check you can see, you can kind of see at the top of the camera. They're the teeth for the spline that go in, and that's the kind of male part of the cone which goes into that. So yeah, that just slots into the bike, clunk in, and you're away. So yeah, I'm going to get the back wheel back in the bike now. So this has got to go on first, which is nice. Can't tight that. That's got to go on first, and then the wheel goes in. Right, and I'm going to need to grease up the shaft that goes in and stuff like that. So I'm going to need the grease. Right, let's cue some music. Okay, so the back wheel's in. There's the brake pedal there. Just show you that there. Pulling the brake arm at the back. So I did make a mistake when I was putting it in. Actually, I put the brake arm the wrong way around, so the nipple was on the outside, and I couldn't get it to line up. It was a right pain, and then I realised what I'd done. So that runs down there, that runs down there. I need to put a split pin in there. That pulls that, which pulls that. Springs on, torque arms on. That's the bit that holds the quick detach part on, which is all of that. Then around the other side, we've got the speedo drive there. And chain adjusters and all that sort of stuff, and the wheel goes around quite nicely, even though it's sitting on the wheel loop at the bottom. And you may notice as well that I did do the writing on the tyres in white, as you can see there. Reason being, that's at least 5 horsepower, and it's a period bit of tuning, give you at least 5 horsepower at the crank. So back wheels in and all serviced, and the brakes are all good. Front wheels in, brake serviced, all good. So everything's greased up, everything on the rolling chassis is working fine. So now just waiting for my engine. As soon as the engine comes, we'll be back again for some more engine building. Thanks for watching. See you next time.